everybody, I am Jaidlyn, and I'm here today to help you figure out if you want to play Melty Blood if you've never played a fighting game before. Ever. You came up to something and you were like, hey, that looks super cool. I want to try that. And you don't know what to do. So let's get started at the basics of the basics of the basics. We're going to get some physical things out of the way, i.e. controllers and platforms and what you're playing on and blah, blah, blah. We are going to go over some basic terminology, where you can find your resources, and then we're going to jump into the game and talk about what we can find within the game that can help you become more successful. So you want to play. What do I need? You may have seen at, say, a tournament like EVO or things like that people really use a lot of different types of controllers. You can use a pad, which for most people looks somewhere like this. This is what we refer to as a pad. Yay! This is not connected to anything. So this is a pad. You may see something like a stick. Oh, I should have pulled one of my sticks down. But a stick, it looks like a traditional arcade stick. It has anywhere between 6 and 8 buttons. Some of them have less. And has a little ball top and you move it around. Like something that you would see at a traditional arcade. Or you may see a lot of people with things like this. Whoop, let me turn it up the right way. This is called a leverless controller or a stickless controller, things like that. A specific company that makes them is called Hitbox. You may hear them called that as well. But all three of these are very popular within the fighting game community. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter what you use. I'm gonna say it right now. Whatever feels the most comfortable for you is what is going to be successful for you. If you're like, man, I would love to try XYZ, or I really want to try a leverless controller, cool, do it, see how it feels. If you have access to somebody who has one, like don't drop hundreds of dollars and be like, I hate this. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's crazy. But if all you have is a pad, because a lot of people do just have pads, and that's okay. Use a pad, especially if it's comfortable for you. If you happen to really like fight sticks and you have that available, use a fight stick. There's a lot of different companies that make them, and you can find something pretty easily within a reasonable price range of what you're looking for. I personally prefer to play with leverless controller. That's why it's in my lap. I have tried all three, sometimes to my detriment. I am not a fan of pad. I do not have the dexterity in my thumbs. There are multiple top-tier players who play with pad. There are tons of top-tier players that play with stick. I used to play with stick. I don't have the hand momentum and dexterity to do that anymore. So I play leverless, and I love it. That doesn't mean that it's the best option for you. So that's the start of this. If you're going to get into a fighting game and you're like, I want to do what the pros do. Guess what? The pros use everything. Pros use pad. Pros use stick. Pros use leverless. Use what is the most comfortable for you. And there's a lot of different options, and there's also several different videos. And that is something I also want to say as well. YouTube, fantastic resource. If you go to YouTube and you're like, I want to find out what the best controller is for me, something like that, you can probably find it. You can probably find people who have done a lot of work on that. So, I want to make this accessible for everybody, and I want to remove as many barriers of entry as I can. And by allowing you, by giving you permission to choose what works best for you, or what you have access to right now to get into the game, use that. So if you're going to use pad, use pad. Cool. If you have access to it, great. Because as soon as you can access the game is when you can start getting better at it.
Work it. Woo!